Hello YouTubers, my name is Keejchen. Welcome back to Legends of Runeterra. And I say back because I played this game on this channel before, but it's been a while and we're diving back into it today. Specifically into the Path of Champions. Now I was recording a Path of Champions series over the past week already, but then they released a massive update for it yesterday that has wiped my entire progress, and so we'll just have to start over. We'll dive in here. Path of Champions, real quick. It's the solo mode for League of Legends, sorry, not League of Legends, Legends of Runeterra. Legends of Runeterra being the card game for League of Legends. I hope I said everything right there. That was a little bit of a tongue twister. The first campaign you'll be thrown into when you open up the Path of Champions is Jinx's campaign, which is on the easy difficulty. That doesn't mean that it cannot get hard. I still think that the other champions are a little bit more fun. And so I have found, well, first of all, there's only 12 champions that you can play in this mode currently. And we'll have to choose between a few of them because some of them will have to be unlocked. So I've unlocked Bard and Yasuo, and we'll play Bard today because he's a new champion that was just added in this update. So I've never played him before and it should be fun. Legends of Runeterra, the Path of Champions, doesn't play at all really like Legends of Runeterra, the PvP mode, the normal mode that you might know. So I want to do a brief introduction. Let's see. It feels more like playing Slay the Spire, honestly. You're playing with a very unbalanced deck. You get to add all kinds of weird things to your deck that makes it play in a completely different way than it normally would. We get powers, we get relics, we get items, those things, and so do the opponents. So they also don't obey the normal rules. There are like boss fights, and we damage we take to our nexus carries over between games. Then we get a choice of 3 cards to add to our deck, and so on and so forth. So it plays a lot like a card game roguelike more than a PvP or collectible card game, right? And so when we come in here and we're starting up a new campaign, first of all, we have to unlock Bard with the shards that I've gathered in Jinx's campaign here. We'll unlock him. Then we can look at an overview. We have a balanced playstyle with Bard. He plays at medium difficulty, and I thought I would read the little flavor text here, so we'll start with that. Bard, then, is a traveler from beyond the stars. Bard strives to maintain the harmony between creation and the cold indifference of what lies beyond it. Stuff your deck full of Bard's whimsical chimes to bestow surprise buffs to your allies. If luck is on your side, Bard and his merry band will swell to gigantic proportions, trampling your unsuspecting enemies and rising beyond the starry sky. Indeed. And so we'll open up Bard here. He has a new thing in the game called Origin. This champion counts as one of your deck's regions. During deck building, you may add the specified cards to your deck, regardless of region. Origins may also have an effect that begins at the start of the game. So, like I said, entirely new. And then his origin is the Wandering Caretaker, which is like its own little card here. You may put any cards that plant chimes into your deck during deck building. Not relevant for the Path of Champions that we're playing. We get a constructed deck at the beginning of the game. But then at the round start, plant a chime in your deck for each Bard that started in the game. Started the game in your deck. Can we see the starting deck here? Oh, we used to be able to do that in the Path of Champions. I have some critique, and that'll be showing throughout this play here, because it used to be really good, and it wasn't perfect, but they've changed a lot of things, and now there's some really finicky stuff going on. But I guess it's just rough around the edges, and more updates will come soon. Anyway, further on into Bard, when he attacks, he plants chimes on random cards in your deck. So what are chimes? Chimes, then, are these things here. These are planted on other cards, so that when we draw them, they have an effect. That is visible in the boon thing here. This attaches to another card. When that card is drawn, activate the effect. That's what I just said. Grant a random ally in hand +1/1. 1 attack, 1 health. Nice. Right? And he plants those whenever he is a part of an attack. And then he levels up once we've increased the total stats of all of allies in play or in hand by a total of 20, which I'm I think that means 10 chimes, because it gives 1/1, so 2 technically. So 10 chimes activated, Bard will level up, and that can happen even if he is not in play. So then when he goes into play, he will level up and become the upgraded Bard, planting 6 chimes on random cards in enemy deck. In our deck, of course. And when you activate a chime, also grant +1/1 to a random ally in play. So then he doubles it up. Sounds super bonkers. In Legends of Runeterra, when you have played a champion already to the board, the other champions in your hand of that same type will turn into a spell, because you can usually only have one champion of a type at a time. So you get a spell instead, and that's for Bard, that's this one here. Bard's Traveler's Call. A burst spell that draws a follower, then activate the effects of all boons in the top 3 cards of the deck. Create a Bard in the deck. Okay. That was a lot to take in. He's a very complex hero, I think, or champion. Should be fun. We have star powers. Oh, and I can star him up. Okay, I suppose we will. Let you maybe read this part here. Strengthen your champion by unlocking their unique star power. And we can then upgrade star powers with champion fragments. These little dudes here, that's the only use that they have. And apparently I've collected 10 more than I needed to unlock him, so now we can star him up immediately. Caretaker's Blessing. When you summon an ally with buffed stats, grant it a random keyword. Oh, very nice. We'll buy that, and then if we can collect another 20 fragments, we will be able to level that Caretaker's Blessing up somehow. Ah, here, to Cosmic Presence. Sounds good. Champion will level up. Once we've played an adventure, we get XP, which gives us various bonuses. Enough about that for now. And we can also give relics to our champions. Oh, I do have a relic. I wonder if I can give that to him. We used to be able to do this. This is one of the little finicky things where I have a relic, but it is attached to Jinx. So I go to Jinx, I go to unattach it from her. Then we can go in and find Bard and attach it to him, I think. Yes. Does that work? It does. Boom. We can only attach one right now, but that's a very powerful thing. And so the first adventure will probably be easy, but maybe I shouldn't say that, because medium difficulty. And this game can be pretty hard on the adventure mode. Usually not the first adventure. The first adventure is usually like an intro adventure. So let's see if we're lucky here. Bard's Campaign. We are starting off with the enemy up here. There are different world adventures that we can go through to gain stars, and we need more stars to unlock the next tier bosses up here. The first one then is Lulu's adventure here, Strange Symphony, recommended for half stars, and we have a full star, so wow, we're already ahead. So this is what it looks like. We have to this little constructed path. Again, this feels kind of like Slay the Spire a little bit. I'm sure a lot of you will know what that is. We walk through various steps, and the intent is to get to the boss at the end of the floor, or whatever you want to call it, the level. And each step will contain either a little pickup or an enemy that we need to fight. We can click on Lulu here and see that she has a power as well. When we fight her, we might want to think about what to do when we are fighting this particular power. Round Star transform the player's strongest follower into a 1/1 squirrel and silence it this round. So it will turn back at the end of the round, but then of course she does it again every round. So we will, at any time, at any point in the game, my strongest follower will always be a 1/1 squirrel and silenced when we're fighting Lulu. So that's something to think about as we are constructing our deck here. Can I see the deck? Yes, we can see the deck here. So an adventure deck usually consists of, what is this, 9 different cards with 2 copies of each. And we'll have to look at them here, because this, like I said, this is a new champion. I have actually not seen any of these cards like ever before in Legends of Runeterra. So we're about to learn about them right now. First of all, at 1 mana we have Bird the Bellringer. When I'm summoned, plant a chime on top of your deck. Okay. 2 of them. Bandle Commando, Nexus Strike, she's elusive. Nexus Strike could create a hungry owlcat in hand. Okay, I've seen this one before, fair enough. So she spawns more units for us if she hits the enemy Nexus. Esmus Breath of the World. This one's new. When I'm summoned, plant a chime on top card of your deck. Support. Grant my supported ally +1/1 permanently then. Very cool. More chimes added here. Stone Staggers. Easy to understand creature. Impact is dealing damage to the enemy nexus whenever it attacks and strikes. Babbling Balladeers? Balladeers, of course. When I'm summoned, create a hungry owl cat in hand. Apparently we like these hungry owl cats. They're this game has some of the best art around. Then we have 2 bards in the deck. So that's important for his origin thing. Round start, play a chime in your deck for each bard that started the game in your deck. Alright. Starlight Stag. Ooh. 5/5 with Overwhelm. Oh, I can't see the attack there. Okay. Overwhelm and Spell Shield. And then a Minimorph. Transform a unit into a 3/3 Mini-T and silence it. Again. It's that guy up there. Alright. Enough about that. Let's play the game and have some fun. At the beginning of every adventure, we will get another power for this particular run. And there's a choice of 3. We can either get Rush Them Down. When you summon an ally, give it +1/1 this round. We can get Dragon's Rage. When you summon an ally, give it Fury, and it is a dragon. Fury means that if that unit kills another unit, he grows by 1/1. Also very nice. Relevant for Bard as well. And Stabilize. When you summon a champion, summon an exact ephemeral copy of the same one. Is that good for Bard? Ephemeral only takes a while for 1 turn, so we would be able to have 2 bards attacking in 1 turn when we summon him, planting up to 6 chimes then, which is not terrible. And later on, double that, of course. I think the Dragon's Rage makes a lot of sense. Killing units, gaining growth, means bards level up. I think that's cool. And then we have our first battle, Blastcorn Seedling. First battle, I will say it again, always very easy. It's like an intro to the adventure. But a Blastcorn Seedling, the little Fae tear their fiery blast cones away from the owl cats and then raise them above their heads, ready to throw. Alright. I see. So they steal the little explodey pine cones. Alright, and so, of course, at the beginning of every fight, we get to... did I skip the Cosmic Binding? Where did that come from? We are mulliganing all the high-cost cards here, but I do want to have a Bard in the deck. I think that is... in hand. I think that's nice. We hope to draw some lower-cost cards here as well. Okay, then we get a 1 cost. Oh, and this one had a chime on it. Okay. How do we see that? The Wandering Caretaker has been played already. Okay. If we click here, we can see that there's 1 chime in the deck. Card left 13, so every card will have... So the first card we draw then will have a 1 in 13 chance of having a chime on it. If you do the math, it is assigned to a specific card, I think. In hand, 5 out of 10, alright? Okay, and we play Bird the Bellringer. He got the chime, so he has already been boosted a bit. Puts a chime in the deck. We can now see that there are 2. Beautiful. He's got Fury, and he's a dragon. You'll note that the opponent doesn't even get a mana in the first turn, because that scales the more we play. The later on, I think some of the boss fights, the opponent will even start with 2 mana, so more than us, right? And the first one just doesn't get any at all in the first turn. So there'll always be a mana behind, basically. And this should be fairly easy. They also start with less health. Another chime. It's very explosive. Alright. And do we just attack? No, I think we'll play the Stone Stackers. Stack them higher. Blastcorn Seedling. Give me barrier this round or grant me impact. Play the other Bellringer. So you get +1/+1. And he's going to soak the biggest attack with the barrier there. So no reason to boost that. We'll boost you, and then play them. And I think this is lethal, by the way. Yeah, even if they blocked the big attack here, we would still have killed him. Easy victory, but it starts easy, and then it gets hard. Good stuff. We get some XP and various rewards there. That wasn't super important. This is important though. After every adventure battle, we get a choice of 3 cards and also some money, which we haven't added to our pool yet. Add 2 copies of a card to your deck. So we can either get 2 decimates, deal 4 damage to the enemy nexus for 5. Shadows of the past. Recall each ally and summon living shadow in its place. Living shadow looking like this. When we recall our units, they usually lose the bonuses that we have applied to them. So if I had summoned one that has +2/2 from a chime, and then I recall it to my hand, it will have lost the chimes. So this feels like it, while it's a good card, kind of anti-synergetic with Bard's thing. And so I'm not a huge fan of the Decimate, but I'll take the Vengeance over here, which is a 6 cost, very expensive card, kill a unit. But I mean, it's super powerful. Late game, we can kill champions with it and stuff like that. So, yeah. We can also reroll it. We have 1 reroll, but I like this card. It's fine. The Vengeance. We'll take that. Very good. I do wonder something that just came to mind here. Chimes on random cards in your deck. Oh, yeah, because I was thinking, well, what happens if it's not a unit with a chime on it? But that doesn't matter. What matters is that when the chime is drawn, it adds a +1 to a unit we have in hand. So it's important for me then to keep 1 unit in hand to be buffed by the chimes when we draw. Otherwise, the chime might be wasted. There was something there, really important to remember. So then we might want to add more units to the deck just to make sure that we can always have units in the hand rather than spells. Stuff, food for thought. And let's go 1 step further. I only want to have 1 battle per episode, but we'll make it as the first thing. So the first thing that happens, or the first thing that happens in a Path of Champions adventure is that we get to the support champion. The support champion will always be just a random champion who comes with 2 other cards that combo with them, and they sort of help us finish up the deck. But this adds a lot of variety to any playthrough, because we get, well, another champion, right? To combo with our Bard. We want it to be a combo as much as we can. We can also reroll this. And let's have a look around. What can we get? So we can get Malphite. The 7 cost tough guy here. Take 1 less damage from all sources. When you play him, he stuns an enemy. He levels up when we have summoned 10 mana worth of landmarks. When he levels up, if you have the attack token, create an unstoppable force in hand. Okay, so he's pretty cool. Round start, if you get an unstoppable force. The unstoppable force being this one here, stun all enemies, okay. So, you summon 10 mana worth of landmarks. Notably, we do not have a single landmark in the deck yet, but maybe one of these cards will be one. Chip will be boosted if you summon the landmark, and then this is a landmark. Eye of the Rahorak. Countdown 1, stun the 2 weakest enemies, and then Daybreak. That means if we play that as the first card of the round where we played, summon a copy of me with countdown 2. Okay, so if we take Malphite, the only way we can level him up is if we play both of these Eye of the Rahorak first, unless we add more landmarks to the deck later in the adventure. Not terrible. But let's see what else we have here. We have Soraka. Soraka is the healing character in League of Legends. So here she supports people, then she heals herself and her supported ally for 4. And then she levels up when you've healed damaged ally 4 times, even if she's not in play. When she's leveled up, we also get to draw 1. The first time an ally is healed each round, which is kind of cool. Fully healed me and my supported ally, also very nice. And her spell is fully healed damaged ally, all the heals. And I know she's really cool because she comes with the Star Spring, which might just be a cool bard thing. Round end, heal damaged allies 1. Then, once I've seen that once this card has been in play while the end seen me heal 22 damage or more from allies, we just win the game. And I think Bard is very defensive, so this could be a good way. Just sit back, boost all our units, heal them up all the time, and then we will eventually win. Astral Projection is a spell. Heal an ally 4 and grant it for 0-4. Okay. Probably the best candidate right now. Meanwhile, we have Ezreal over here, the young upstart spellcaster. He is elusive, very cheap guy. Nexus Strike, he creates a fleeting Mystic Shot in hand, and he levels up when we have targeted enemies 6 times. The Mystic Shots being his thing, and then once he's leveled up, when you play a spell, deal 1 to the enemy Nexus. If it targeted an enemy, deal 2 to the enemy Nexus instead. Now, I don't think we have a lot of stuff. I skipped this one when I was reading the deck earlier, I suppose. Play 2 to deal 2 to an enemy and stun another plant 3 times from random cards in your deck. Okay. That one does target an enemy, but I think that's the only one that we currently have. Indeed. Bard's spell also does not. So I'm going to go with Soraka for this one. I will try to just be the defensive healing player here. That could be kind of fun for an adventure. Alright, and that'll be the end of the first episode of this Bard's Adventure. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and will enjoy the series. It's going to be short episodes where we start with a battle and then do the pickup of whatever cards we're getting. Usually they take about 10 to 15 minutes. And just going to be like a little hangout thing where we play some Legend of Runeterra. That's it, folks. See you soon, and bye-bye.